Welcome back to Torque Trends, a show where we tell you about everything that's trending in the automotive world, or maybe things that were trending and we think should make a comeback.
So we've got front-end swaps of these square S10s.
I forgot for a second that it was an S10. Like, I thought that was a Suburban until you brought up that.
And so you see the little bitty mouth opening of a group.
Yeah, it does. It looks like it's like an emoji mouth. I like the look.
I mean, it's not done, so I can't judge it. Miss the wild builds like that. You know, people being creative, and it may be hot for 1 year and then not the next, but you know, it's fun.
I feel like even just any kind of grill and that, it'd be very clean.
Yeah, I do too. Yeah, if it had just something to fill it up, then I think it'd probably be all right.
We got some racing flames here.
Old school travel flames. You've got the PS grill on a S10. This is the Silverado version, where the last one we saw was GMC version.
I appreciate the flames being silver.
Yeah.
It's so much cleaner than trying to like add in all of the flame color, like the colors that are in a flame. You still know it's supposed to be a flame, but it's a much subtler color. I like it in a modern sense. I like this a lot better.
And it matches the era of the early 2000s, you know, late 90s. You know, billet grill, crystal lights, billet wheels. Yeah, this is what I grew up on. You know, so I think it's cool. But yeah, that S10's been posted everywhere. Now, this one's a new one to me.
Okay.
Yeah, but what are your first thoughts?
It looks like you just dropped a penny in front of it and it went... like it looks like it's staring down to pick something up. Or like it's shy.
Yeah, it's a little too literal for me as far as 72 front end and chopped it up and stuck it on a Blazer. The flatness of that grill does not match the roundness of the outside of the grill, and then going into square body just doesn't make sense. Look, it's got that hard body line running down the side of it that's horizontal to the ground. Why are you going to have it nosed over?
Yeah, there's two things that really make that stick out on this, that I think it works on some C10s sometimes. But one thing that doesn't work on this truck is because there's an angle here that's sloping up, and then you've got a cowl that's sloping even more up. It really makes it look like you've tilted the whole front down. This one's I'm a big fan of.
Yeah.
I'm a big fan of.
This is the correct way to do that look.
We've tossed this image around a time or two, maybe talking about the S10.
This is probably the most famous front end swap for the square S10 Blazers. It's done right. I have not seen this thing finished. I'm curious where it's at, because this is an old picture.
Yeah, it looks to me like they molded the fenders to better flow with the hood.
It does, yeah.
Obviously, you could cut the hood to fit, but I don't think that style hood would fit unless you had the fenders to match, because just like the last one, the angle wouldn't look right, but because of all the extra work to get all the proportions right, it really shows what a difference that makes.
And you may be seeing a little something coming to the little service tin, you know?
Especially if you like and subscribe. That I don't know why that would hurt getting there, you know?
Just say, Chance lives about 3 hours I got parts in my shop. So we're into the round S10s, and this is of the same era of styling, 68-ish looking grill, but I don't think a single part of this grill is off an old truck. I think it's all sheet metal, and you know, maybe they got the bezels out, the headlight bezels out of something. It's almost like if you asked AI to take a C10 front end and put it on an S10. Like, it's all perfectly. I want to see it with the hood closed and some paint, and it might work. It's throwing me off because the proportions, you can tell it's not a full-size grill shrunk down. The proportions are too perfect. But at the same time, the body is so curvy, and the C10s weren't curvy. But we're looking at S10. I don't know. I want to see it finish product.
Especially the proportions do feel very AI, because I also noticed the bumper doesn't quite come out far enough to fit that way. Oh. I was looking at the design on the side. I got a jump scare there. Looked like it was going to come out and bite me. This is like, there's a lot of crossbreeding going on here. I like they didn't even take the stock Mustang front end. It's a modified Mustang front end, but it somehow has been molded to like even the fender, the fenders actually flow.
Yeah, and down by like the lower part of the bumper where it takes some of that S10, like the flare part, somebody did a really good job, but I don't know about it on the S10.
Yeah, no.
I really can appreciate it.
Yeah, I can't say it's badly done. I can say it gave me a jump scare.
It's a reality of if you asked AI to put a Mustang on an S10. It doesn't know where to do it, but it did it.
It did. Yeah, it float them up. Yep. Oh, the old Cadillac front end.
OBS Escalade front end that you usually saw in the Silverados. You know, people would swap them over to the Silverados. Real easy kit. You could buy a kit out of Street Trucks back in the day. Styling Concepts, you know, whatever you looked at. But yeah, somebody narrowed it up to an S10, and I actually think they did a really good job. It's nothing of today's styling, you know, take us back to 2000, then I think that's a hot ride right there.
Yeah, I've always liked it when they do. I like it when they do the same year with the front end. That way it doesn't, date as far back. But I like the Cadillac front. I appreciate your dedication to finding almost, I think actually strictly S10 so far. You really stuck with that.
We're getting that genre down. If you're an S10 person, you found the right episode.
Yeah, for sure.
Oh, look at another S10. But see, this is like a Yukon Denali front end. Again, kind of that same era. This is when they changed them over to that kind of rounder front end, and I think it works.
My first reaction to this, though, is I guarantee this truck is not around anymore. It just has that look of like a truck. You'll see it in old pictures, but no one knows where it went.
I hope somebody saved it. I'd like to see it. The radical builds usually don't make it past 10 years.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of like the design. Like everything fits with the style of truck. I'm betting this is probably a really good angle with it. It probably has a similar like small grill going on.
Right.
But I think it all works really well with that model.
It helps that those headlights wrap around into the side of the fender, so they're not tucked as far into the grill. So I'd assume the grill's a little bit better and wider than the earlier one we saw with the GM. So, all right, now we're getting into Colorado. Just thought this one was kind of clean, and I don't know if this is one that's been around for a while or not, but it's got the Cali combo on the back with this, full shave. It's got some tight gaps. But yeah, I got the down caddy lights, the bed, notch cover.
That's a bit. They just went ahead and they just covered the whole thing across. I was always a big fan of the Colorados.
Yeah, I liked them. I thought they had potential. The whole 5-cylinder thing was weird, but you could get them with the 5.3. This is a side shot of it with a Yukon front. That's still a Colorado bumper. The bottom portion of it anyway. It
just looks a little too, everything looks a little too big for the size of the truck.
Yeah, I think the headlights work, but the panel below the headlights, the like bumper cap is a little big for me.
I feel like the headlights would work, but with the bumper being big, you've got the cowl, the big grill.
Those headlights almost give it like the CTSV headlights back on the hood like that and on the fender. If it carried more of that, like the car shape or like the wedge shape of a Colorado, it might work better, but it's a little stub nosed a little bit.
Yeah, it's just making me think of like a really small dude that like got bullied in high school, so he like took some roids and got real jacked up.
No disrespect to that guy by any means. Like, I can respect it.
Yeah.
As far as the mini trucker stuff goes, I would love to see more. Now, this classic of, have you seen the new Chevelle?
Now, this is short guy with like roid energy. He's so bubbled out.
You still see the like 60-year-old dude that just figured out what Facebook is share this picture in the post from some fake website saying, oh, have you seen the new Chevrolet came out with? Sir, this is like a Challenger body that someone put the concept Camaro wheels on, and the grill is from like a 04 Malibu turned upside down. Please just stop sharing this.
So in the same vein, you would see like these fake renders and everything. Someone would mock something up and say, this is going to be the new Chevelle. With AI, it's gotten even easier to just tell AI to generate something, and then boom, I've got a post ready for social media because obviously it didn't matter. Nothing makes sense about the grill. Nothing makes sense about really anything the closer you look at this vehicle.
Spam pages get big quick off of dumb people.
Yeah.
It's just going to eventually cause some kind of diversity in the community between people that don't know what's real and what's not.
I saw people sharing this one thinking these were real, that they could order on Amazon. Very cool. Very not real, very non-existent. So I was going to just show just how easy we can even stick with the Chevelle.
No, I'll do an S10 with a different front end and see what happens. See if it compares to the ones we looked at.
Create me a 1990 S10 with a, what front end do we want?
Just say Silverado.
So this is how easy it is to make these AI images that everyone's been sharing around on Facebook nonstop. So here we go.
Yeah.
And bam, that's it. Obviously, we've got some weird stuff going on that you could easily clean up in Photoshop. That's Facebook ready, if you ask me.
Yeah, that's 1,000 views.
Oh, at least.
This is probably, unfortunately, the hottest thing. Like, I'm going to see at least 5 of these a day.
Yep.
I could easily see somebody saying, hey, what bumper is that? What grill is that?
Oh, yeah. When you go through the comments, you will. Yeah, that's the crazy part. And this is obviously a temporary problem because I think people usually figure this stuff out.
Yeah.
It's definitely a double-edged sword. If you point out that it's AI, you're just helping out the post because you're making it more controversial. But you don't want just everybody to believe, like, start just going willy-nilly believing everything they see on the internet. You would think by now we'd have figured out that's not the case.
And what I'm starting to see with that too is that shows, they went from using clip art for flyers. I'm glad we're not in that era anymore and people know how to use a computer. Now you're seeing shows use AI vehicles that aren't real. I just can't get behind not having real vehicles on your show flyers. Like, it's deceiving because there are people out there that aren't smart enough to know it's not real.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to be caught at, being on a poster with a truck that isn't quite done like it's supposed to be on the poster.
At least it will be real. We have things in the works. We'll just keep it at that.
And that's where we're going to leave this episode of Torque Trends. If you like this episode, make sure to drop us a like and a subscribe. And drop a comment on what trends you want to see us review next.